I got laid off twice, and it was the best thing to have ever happened to me. Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And like I said in the intro, I've been laid off twice, and I've been laid off twice within a year. And to be honest, it was the best thing to have ever happened to me. Best thing to have ever happened to me. I'll talk about why it's the best thing to have ever happened to me, but let's first talk about the redundancies or the layoffs. We call it redundancies in the UK. But yeah, my first redundancy happened in November of 2021. I remember this time in life, I was kind of like 4 years into working for this company. I'd done a year with the company as sort of like an intern, and then I moved into a full-time role. And it was amazing. I was at that period in my life whereby I started making some big life moves. I just bought a flat, had an investment in the car, had my partner then, was kind of like settling down and all that. And I was looking for the next step. I started applying for more roles within the company because I wanted to stay with the company, applying for more roles. And then I got a notification saying potentially your role is going to be made redundant. It's going through reviews and stuff like that. And I was hopeful that wasn't going to be the case. But around November, towards the end of November, I got a notification saying, yes, your role is going to get me redundant. You're going to be laid off, and we're going to put you on garden leave. So I got put on garden leave for about 3 months. And it was quite interesting because this was the first time I've ever gone through something like this. I didn't really know what to feel. But I got people messaging me from work saying, oh, we're sorry to hear this. And I just thought, it happens. So, but I did keep it very quiet, especially from my family and my mom specifically, because my mom is always going in panic mode. She always goes into panic mode, and that kind of energy can throw you very easily. So I kept it very quiet. I took my time. I just reevaluated what I wanted to do in my life, and then I kind of enjoyed myself during that garden leave period, during that three months period. And then around February, I started looking for my next role. Started working with recruiters. Started looking online as well. Started to kind of explore, and there were 2 roles in specifically that I was kind of fighting for. And there was a specific company that I thought, right, this role sounds very interesting. There's a lot of avenues for me to progress in here. I'll go for this role. Initially, it was great for me. I really did enjoy it, especially the team dynamic, the people I was working with. But very quickly, things started to kind of move differently for me. And then 10 months down the line, technical redundancy or technical layoff, I was out of the company. That one, to be honest, I think was inevitable. And it was good for me because I was really burnt out. When I say 6 months into the business, I was burnt out. Physically, mentally, emotionally, I was just fried out, and it started having a massive impact on my just private life in general. So having that technical redundancy or technical layoff was great for me. So it just made me kind of back away from it all. For the first 2 weeks, I slept. When I say I slept. I was sleeping for hours on end, 12 hours, just those knocking off in the middle of the day, just sleeping, because I was just that burnt out. But at the same time, it gave me time to sort of reevaluate life a little bit. So why were both redundancies the best thing to have ever happened to me? I've actually made some notes. Firstly, I'll say the redundancies were good in testing my resilience as a person. I've always believed that I've been a very resilient person because I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life. I've gone through a lot of stuff I don't really talk much about, but being resilient has been something that I've always sort of held very close to me. It doesn't matter the situation, I'll wade through it and I'll come out the other end. That's always been my sort of my mentality. And I've seen people around me be like that, my parents, my siblings and all that. So those 2 redundancies definitely tested my resilience, my capacity to be resilient, and it showed that yes, I do have it, but at the same time, it was pushed a little bit more. It was pushed a bit, but I was resilient. Those two layoffs did not break me. I actually saw them as opportunities, and I was willing to take those opportunities. So that was the first thing that it did for me. Those layoffs just made me tested my resilience, and I came out knowing that, okay, you know what, I still got it. Secondly, it made me reprioritize my mental health, because the last role I did, when I said I was burnt out, no joke, I was burnt out. I was just mentally, I was exhausted. Everything just felt like a drain on me, and having the time to actually back away and actually reevaluate and actually prioritize my mental health was a great thing. Great thing. It made me just more of a better person. It made me more happier, made me more relaxed. I wasn't on edge too much. So it was really good. It was really good for me, personally for me. Thirdly, it made me reevaluate the sort of jobs I want to do and the sort of jobs I apply for. I'm currently working for a company that I really, really love. I love this company. I love the job I do. I love my role itself because it's around things that I actually do in my day-to-day life as well. So I really, really love it. So being in that position of being laid off and having to like sit down for a bit just made me understand that actually I want to work for a company and I want to do a job that I actually enjoy doing because it's something that I actually do. And it's something I can actually bring a lot more value to off the ground, like right away. So yeah, it made me kind of reevaluate a lot. And I started to be a bit more picky with the sort of like jobs I started applying for while I was in sort of like that recovery phase from my last burnout. So yeah, it was really good. And finally, it made me think about the future. It made me question, do I want to continue being a worker? Because if I'm being honest, I've always been somebody that wanted to be an entrepreneur, wanted to start a business or start a couple of business. And I've always written my business idea down. I've always talked about, oh, I wanted to start this business. I wanted to go into coffee business. I wanted to go into candle business. I wanted to go into, manufacturing. I want to go into also. I want to go into apparels. I want to go into clothing. I want to go into so many businesses. But for whatever reason, I've always kind of like just held myself back from doing that. I just thought, I just go do a 9-to-5 job. But this redundancies, the second one specifically, made me think, actually, can I take away the full power from a company being so in control of my life that at a whim, I can be there, next second, I'm out of it. So it made me kind of reconsider. I sat down, started thinking about, okay, some of the business ideas I have, which one can I start? And that is where this beautiful candle comes in play. So this is actually my brand called Atto Candles. I launched this in October of 2023, so it's been about a year and a bit. And yeah, this is my first business venture. I love candles. My parents were actually making candles in the late 80s and early 90s in Nigeria, but more for like utility use. But I've always loved the way candles can help elevate your space, elevate your mind, and turn the house into a home. And that's why I decided I was gonna start my business, and my first business is gonna be candles. So yeah, that is actually burn out of the first, like my second layoff, and wanting to sort of like have a bit of control with my life and my future. And that's where I decided, I'm actually going to take that risk of actually starting my own businesses, give myself the opportunity to actually potentially do stuff that can become full-time for me in the future. And that's where the first business of a candle business comes in mind. I've got potential plans to go into coffee. I've got potential plans to go into clothing. I've got potential plans to go up into upcycling and all sorts like that. So yeah, that is the main benefit of why being made redundant or being laid off has been good for me, because it actually pushed me to actually start taking more risk with my own ideas and with my own goals in life. So yeah, I hope that is something that someone else out there can benefit from, because I know that people out there are going through rough times. I know people out there might be going through redundancies as well, or going through layoffs. But look for the bright side within this, because they could be potentially something great around the corner for you. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the content. And yeah, to the next one. Peace out.